Okay. As I mentioned earlier, Justin, I explained what we were doing this morning. We didn't know if it was going to work or not, so I'm just going to introduce you. We are running behind a little bit, and as you know, Harriet Young is here, and she's going to be talking. So if you could maybe just address us for a few minutes, tell us what's going on down there in Phoenix.
All right. Can everybody hear me okay, number one?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, all right. You know, I've never been more determined to get this thing to work. I travel back and forth between my living room and my office to figure out just the right internet spot, and you're currently in my living room right now. So I think I'm doing okay. I got my coffee, I got my gym in for the morning, and still had enough time to get to Sedona by 8:45, so we're doing pretty well. I wanted to talk to you guys about the strategic priorities of the party over the next year and leading into 2012. I want to give credit where credit's due as far as this thing goes. The idea of Skype actually came from the Red Rocks group about a month ago when I visited you guys to talk about redistricting. Somebody raised their hand and suggested that, you know, one of the criticisms is oftentimes our outlying groups, our rural groups in counties are not really aware of what's happening at state party headquarters. So let me give you a quick update, and thank you for providing us that idea. We hope to take this same idea and run with it in the rest of our counties. All right? Again, I want to give you guys our 5 strategic priorities at the state party, and I want to start off with what we're calling a 15-county strategy. Now, all of us have heard about the 50-state strategy in concept. Every good Democrat knows what that is. You know, and we've always been aware of this as a concept in Democratic circles. For the first time, we have a Democratic chair in Andre Trudy, who actually wants to make it a priority. Not just a priority, but one of the only 5 that we have. All right, so our 15-county strategy actually starts in your groups. It's the reason for this call, and quite frankly, it's the reason that personally I've been to 5 different counties over the last week. All right, so the 15-county strategy works with you guys telling us what your targeted races are, what your priorities are for your districts, and of course keeping us in the loop with how districts are shaping up, the kind of staffing that you would like in your districts, and actually putting together a county plan in each of our 15 counties before we put together our coordinated campaign. All right? One of the things we want to make sure that we're communicating is that the coordinated campaign doesn't start 6 months into an election year. It actually starts right now with the kind of work that you're doing to build your county party. So we're looking forward to working with Yavapai County, Coconino County, and developing those 15 county plans. All right. The second one you already know about because it's redistricting. I was there about a month ago to talk about it. We're going to keep a very close eye on what's happening with redistricting. We're talking to all of our counties again with how the districts are shaping up. I want to get feedback from you as you're viewing these legislative and congressional redistricting. If anybody lives in Coconino County, some of you might have already seen what's happening in Flagstaff. Or heard about it with legislative maps and congressional maps that have been
Come on, Justin.
proposed to be voted on. Those of you who live in Yavapai County know and have seen, because I was there last week, have seen that Yavapai County has already produced supervisorial maps. What we would like to do is make very good communication between our counties and the state party about what is the best avenue for our candidates to plug right into these maps. All right? 3 more, and then I'll get out of your hair. What we're also doing is what's called the Accountability Project. Accountability Project you might have seen in play in Congressional District 3, where we sent our grassroots to a town hall meeting with Ben Quayle and asked a very simple question. Why did you vote to dismantle Medicare? And I don't know if anybody's seen this video. His response was less than eloquent. All right? The best thing that we got out of that was a videotape that was pushed out to news media all over the state, showing Ben Quayle reacting to his constituents in a less than elegant manner. All right? And so we want more of that. the more that extremist Republicans push through bills that don't fit the mainstream ideas of Arizona, we want to capture that and get the response from our congressmen, legislators, and so on. The next thing I'll talk about is our messaging to mainstream Arizona. One of the things that the Chairman Unga, has been saying is that we want to really highlight the differences between Republican extremists and what Democrats represent, which is the mainstream. A lot of what we're talking about this year and leading into the next year is the message over and over again, which is these extremist Republicans, headed up by folks like Russell Pierce, do not represent Arizonans. Who does represent Arizonans are Democrats, people like you and me. So you'll see many more messages pushed through with that sort of message delivery. Another thing that we're doing is called the Closing the Gap program. This is sort of your old hat Democratic organizing PC recruitment and of course voter registration. We have currently today about 1,700 elected and appointed PCs. We know that if we have just one registration per PC every week, we can close the gap between Democrats and Republicans. We need to close that gap and able to stand a chance of winning in 2012. I think I covered everything that we're doing right now. This was a really good test for me to be able to take out to different county organizations to see how this interaction works. And I thank Angela, I thank Dick and Bill for being patient with me through this process and getting this technology figured out. Angela, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just perfectly.
I wanted to just tell you one thing real quick
Sure.
I haven't told the group yet, but we had a PC meeting which Lindsay was at. Lindsay was quite a few people here on PCs came to the meeting. We're going to do a grassroots campaign here in the Sedona area. And basically we've put together, Dick has just taken it to the printers. We're doing 5,000 brochures about why to vote, why it's important to vote, why you need to vote, and what Democrats have done for this country. I'll send you an electronic version of it so you can see what we're doing. And we're going to get these out by actually talking to people, not just mailing. Mailing is going to be our last resort, but we're trying and get these out by door to door between now and the fall. So it's just a little way of kind of going here locally and getting people involved. Because, as you say, it's all about getting the word out. And that's why we're having Harriet here today to explain how we can do that better too. So all this kind of fits in, and we're really, really thrilled that you can let us know what's going on down in Phoenix right now. So we do appreciate your face now is kind of going funny on us. So.
You look beautiful.
Sweet. I appreciate being able to do this, and I look forward to doing it more with your group. Hopefully on a monthly basis if that's when you're meeting. Don't want to make a big production out of it. The real simple premise of it is to keep you updated, to work with you on the 15-county strategy leading up to the coordinated campaign. And if I understand you correctly, Angela, it looks like you're already working in a campaign environment. And this is what we need to continue that model for every 2-year cycle that we have an election. And this one is especially important with the presidential election cycle, where we stand a chance to grow our Democratic base and grow our PC. And we can talk about that more the next time that I see it. I don't think that we'll have time for questions, but let me give you my phone number very quickly. If you have any ideas or any of the things that I talked about, it's 602-298-4200.
You're going to get 50 phone calls this week.
Thank you very much, Justin, and it's been a pleasure listening and talking to you, and we'll be talking with you in the future.
Thanks, Justin.